Hi kids, it's Dad again, and here I am today again to talk about some random ramblings. Um, Primarily, I want to start with the fact that uh, time is one of my favorite concepts to think, discuss. I'm really fascinated with the concept of time. I think it's one of the most supreme things out there in the universe because everything else is either quantifiable or understandable, but time is something you can't understand. It is something that we perceive uh, in our lifespans. And time basically can be slow or fast depending on the circumstances, right? Like for example, if you're in a lecture with a very boring professor, that 1 hour lecture could be 3 hours for you or 2 hours for you, and someone who's teaching very interestingly, those lectures of 1 hour could be, it's just been 10, 15 minutes, like how did it end so quickly? So obviously, our mind determines that how we perceive the time has passed or lapsed, and based on that, we kind of make a perception in our head that fine, this is doing something very well. Another example could be let's say you're hanging out with your friends, and you left at 1 p.m. or something, and then you're coming home at 6 p.m. And then when you're coming home, you feel like I've just been out like 2 3 hours, I should have been more, like something is missing. Whereas let's say you're standing in queue uh, in a place where you need to get some work done, and they're taking like 30 minutes or something, and you've been waiting for 30 minutes, and it feels like an eternity, like it's been 2 hours, 3 hours. So time is a principle that we have in our head that increases and decreases uh, based on our perception. But yeah, ultimately, time is something that flows in one direction from what we understand as of now. We haven't seen or heard of any cases where time is going backwards or changing momentum. Obviously, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some form of dimensional time zones, time frames, where, as an example, something like Mandela effect, right? Now, I'm not sure if this terminology exists in that space, in that time when you're watching this, but Mandela effect is something termed behind the guy named Mandela, who I remember as well in the 80s had passed away in his jail cell, whereas he ended up being the president or something of Africa or South Africa, something on those lines. But we all remember him passing away. I mean, as a kid, I used to watch cartoons called Looney Tunes. Now it's Looney Tunes, Tunes. Before it was TWNS. And I'm pretty sure I saw this guy called Sylvester or something. Characters from Looney Tunes who used to come on the screen, and the episode used to end with Looney Tunes, TWNS, because those were tunes, which were cartoons. So we that made sense, and now it's like Looney Tunes. It's like based on music, and none of us remember it changing. We just remember that we saw Looney Tunes. Um, so this time shift again is potentially could be behind someone or some organization or something that could have altered how do you call that universes or multiverses, or pushed us towards something that we don't see very obvious differences, but there are subtle differences where we are able to identify something went wrong, something changed, and we don't know what or when it happened. And that's really interesting because obviously these people don't want to come out, and we're not supposed to find out about them. They're not supposed to find out about us, or rather, they're supposed to find out everything about us, and we're not supposed to find out anything about them. But maybe to maintain the equilibrium of balance of the universe, it's advisable for them not to reach out to us. Similar to maybe the religious context, or why we don't interact with gods, because we're not supposed to, or we're not supposed to interact with them. um, we're supposed to have faith in them, we're supposed to believe in them. And with I think time passing through, uh, or time with ages as they go on, circumstances, scenarios are obviously going to change. And with social media and everything manipulating people's minds, initially it used to be the newspaper era where people had physical newspapers and people used to be moved or motivated towards something. Over the years, it got transferred into cinemas. Like I remember in the early 90s and early 2000s, we used to only have movies with, romance themes in it, love themes in it. I think post 20 uh, 2005 or 2010 onwards, I think the whole concept shifted towards adultery and all the negative aspects of, relationship, all the bad things happening, and they're trying to normalize the or whitewashing the evil deeds that's being done basically. And obviously, this is a industrialist-based, capitalist-based world we're living in currently. At least I'm living in currently. I don't know how it's going to turn out when you're watching this. Uh, but yeah, I think because of that, power and profit is everything. So yeah, I think these concepts are interesting. Also, I've loved researching about random various topics. I've researched from black magic, which is sacrificial, white magic, which is belief, pink magic, red magic, which is again using different elements or different things that's available to us on planet Earth to make something happen that ideally should happen in its own time frame, but if it's not happening, then using assistance. Although I've never done or performed anything, honestly, it's just for research purposes. I used to study and learn them, including occult things like, ghosts and everything. I do believe that I think ghosts and demons and all these things probably exist because if God can exist, why can't these things exist, right? It's just a matter of how do you call it? Schrodinger's cat. You don't know it's there till you open the box or till you open the bag. Um, but yeah, I think having belief, having faith, uh, having a sort of uh, an ideology towards something is important, and having the strength to study about those things, to learn those things, just for understanding purposes that what they exist for, why they existed in the first place, and why they're no longer relevant or existent in the first place, in the current space is also important. Now coming to maybe another topic. Oh wait, let's do that in another video. Nah, I'll do it now. Okay. Um, I think this is again a bit offbeat. Um, how do you deal with grief, right? So grief is something that you experience at at the expense of someone else, because you care for them, you love them, and grief is something you don't ever you don't ever get over it, so to speak. You just learn to live with it because um, time and time again, people will tell you that time will heal everything, time will fix everything. It doesn't really happen. It's just you learn to live with it, and the thing you take away from it is that the way you love that person lives on within you in a form, in a variant, basically, as a memory, as an emotion, as a feeling. So that's something that keeps you going. That's something that would keep you strong, keep you motivated. So think about it that way. Like like everyone who has come has to go, right? Eventually, at the end of the day, or the end of the span, so to speak. But it's what they leave us with is what's important. What they have given us and what we remember about them. That's how it matters. So yeah, I think that's something I just wanted to tell you both, and I'll see you around. I love you.